Guys, my name is SnoopDogFan, and this is another weapons overview for Monster Hunter Wilds. This is gonna be our second to last one, I believe, guys, because today we've got three more weapons. It's the switch axe, the bow, and the lance. And the only weapon yet to be shown is the dual blades, which I'm guessing is gonna release tomorrow. And yeah, like I said, that's the last weapon. So it's a little awkward. Um, because we're doing them in chunks of three so far, but we're ending off on the dual blades as just like a singular video. Like we only have one left after this. So I'm guessing tomorrow I'll just record the dual blades in its own singular video, just going over that, because there's no more trailers. Um, Presumably. That's what I'm gonna do. Just because like they might drop more trailers after the dual blades the next like day or two, before Gamescom. They might do like more general overviews, like I said before, but I'm not sure if they're gonna do that. So just in case, I'm gonna record a separate video just going over the dual blades because, like I said, it might be the last one. I have no clue. Also, I am moving into school tomorrow. The school semester starting up again, guys. So I may not have as much time to film videos. Um, so I'm gonna try to get the dual blades out tomorrow before I leave, and also try to make some videos. But they're probably gonna be spaced out a little bit, at least during the beginning of the semester, as I'm getting used to the work and making sure I actually have time to do my work and whatever. I don't mean to ramble on about that. That's boring. We're here for the weapons, guys. So let's start off strong with the switch axe. I've never played this weapon before. Pause it real quick here, guys. Well, I'll pause it on the thumbnail here. Look at this armor set and the weapon, dude. I sound like a broken record, guys. I really do. I say it every time, but every single armor set, every single weapon has looked so insanely good so far, guys. That was one of my biggest complaints with World was the weapon designs. They tried to do that system where different parts would be added onto the base of the weapons, but it just ended up looking so samey in some cases, and a lot of the weapon designs were lackluster in World. Here we've seen completely unique designs for every weapon so far. Um, so it looks like they're gonna do like a similar system to older gen and like what they had in Rise, where they actually have like unique weapons, unique models for each weapon starting off, unlike World where they start off as kind of a basic like, you know, which I'm a really big fan of. They all look so good. So yep, this weapon has two different modes, sword and axe. This is the axe mode. It's slower, reaches more, and does kind of more damage per hit. But the sword mode is much faster and does less damage per hit, but it's much more, more hits and more maneuverable. By the way, guys, this is looking like the first ice weapon we've seen. Look at these ice particles coming off the attacks here. And honestly, I don't know if we've seen... I'm gonna have to go back and look because I don't know if we've seen an elemental weapon so far, guys. As far as like I'm remembering, I don't remember these particle effects in any of the other videos for like other elements. You know what I mean? I think this is the first one, but it's very clear like these are ice particles coming off after every hit. Like you can tell, and the sound it's making, that's definitely ice damage. So whatever monster this weapon and armor is from, it's looking like it's gonna be a brand new monster. I've never seen this armor and weapon before. It's probably gonna be an ice element monster. And then here, these attacks, they look, I think they're all just stuff we've seen before, guys, with the switch axe. None of this looks new at all. Looks like the standard strings for axe and sword mode. Nothing crazy here being revealed. And then here's focus mode. We got this like crazy combo hit here. And then she sticks the sword into the monster. And it does this elemental discharge. That's a really cool focus attack. This one looks so cool, guys. Let's play it one more time. That like series of uppercut hits and then bam! That looks so awesome. And then we see here's like a counter move. It's looking like it's going to be similar to the counter for the switch axe that was added in Rise Sunbreak. They added a counter for like a gajillion weapons in that game. Like literally every freaking weapon got a counter in that game, it felt like. And switch axe was one of them. So it looks like this is stuff we've seen before again, you know. Maybe it changed slightly, but it just looks like the standard counter from Rise. And then we have like these cool like jumping, sweeping moves here. Here we see like she literally jumps off the ground. That looks really cool. That might be new. It doesn't look familiar to me, but like I said, I've never played this weapon before. But it looks like standard stuff again. You know what I mean? That's just a standard combo coming out of the counter there, and then also this just looks like a normal combo. And then here we can see the weapon in its amp state. And guys, I must say, they kind of did the Switch Axe dirty, bro. That felt like the shortest trailer yet. I don't know if it was, but dude, only 46 seconds, and we don't even get to see amp state. We only get to see it for like the last like 2 seconds. Basically, guys, if you've never played this weapon before, amp state is like after you deal enough attacks in sword mode. I think you can only get in sword mode. I'm not sure. Maybe you can get in axe mode. I don't know. But you can eventually amp up your weapon into the amp state, and it just does more damage. It gives you access to files, which you can use to create elemental discharges. So like here we see it starts off with that. You can see it like the files are applying to their attack basically. It's adding new particle effects and explosions. It's like that red fiery kind of stuff. Those are the files being used in amp state. And that's literally all we get to see of it, guys. Just a few attacks, which is crazy to me. Like I said, dude, I feel like this weapon did kind of dirty. We're going to need to test this one out a lot in the demo because I feel like we barely got to see any of the new stuff. Right? We got the focus move. We got, some gameplay. I don't even know, man. Like, this one felt so short. Like, there's not even that much to say about it. I guess one thing is, if we go back here to the focus mode, one thing that's interesting to note is that they're not in the amp state here when they do this discharge with the focus attack. So I guess you can do that in or out of amped mode. You can use the files there to do the explosion. I guess it doesn't matter. Other than that, guys, there's nothing else to say, really. This was a really short trailer. We're really going to need to see what it's like in the demo, because I feel like we barely even got a taste of the changes that they made here. The designs, again, though, they look awesome. And overall, the weapon looks cool. But again, doesn't look like we're going to see many of the big changes here. Who knows if there's even any more. Like, maybe it's just very similar to the old move sets from World and Rise. And that's why they didn't really show much. They barely changed anything. Anyways, guys, next up we're going to move on to the bow. And this is going to be cool to see because this is my ranged weapon of choice. This is the one I use, so this is going to be cool to see. And it's a minute long. See, much longer than the last one by like a whole 30 seconds. Once again, this design is looking so cool. I'm loving the armor set. The female version has like this kind of like Spartan helmet, dude. It's got like the red like mohawk. Dude, that looks dope. And there's like the starter set with the blue stripes, the leather. Looks great. So, it is a mid-range weapon. Yeah, you kind of have to be closer to the monster than with the bow guns, I feel like. When you're using bow, there's a lot of damage drop-off with it. And you can see that indicated by the reticle. This was also in World, the reticle would change, like, the way it looked based off if you were in the damage range or if you were out of it. So like the reticle would kind of gray, like dim out and let you know like, oh, you're too far away, you got to move closer. And then when you were in the sweet spot, it would turn like orange and like have these markers added to it. So yeah, guys, just firing basic arrows there. This is the main mechanic here, is the coatings. There's a variety of coatings you can put onto your arrows that each do different effects. This one, the dark red one, is looking like power coating. That's one of the most useful ones for bow. It basically is just, extra damage. It's power coating. It literally just adds extra damage to your weapon. There's no special element being added or anything like that. It's just straight up a damage buff. Interesting to note, though, guys. It's only applying 8 here. And that's weird because in previous games, you would basically be able to carry, like, I don't remember exactly what it was. It was either like 30 or 50, and I think it might have varied per coating as well. But you'd be able to carry a lot more than 8 on you, basically. Like, let's just say for this example, it's 30. Like I said, I don't. Let me look it up real quick. Let me look it up. Real quick, I'm on my phone here. Let's see. Monster Hunter World Power Coating Max. Um, yeah, 50. So it was 50. I was right on that. You could carry 50 at once, which is weird that they're only applying 8. But also, guys, take note here before they apply it. There's a plus next to it. Maybe, here's what I'm personally guessing. Not sure if this is true or not because this is going to be something we have to test in the demo as well, guys, because it's not really being explicitly shown here. My guess is that you're able to still carry 50 on you, but you can only apply 8 at a time. Before, it would just be like you apply to your weapon, you could shoot all 50 in a row. You wouldn't have to reapply or anything like that. Here, I'm guessing you apply it, you get 8 shots of power coating, and then you're going to have to reapply after those 8 shots run out. So a slight change. I mean, I say slight, but that's going to seriously change up the hunt. You're going to have to use applying way more. You're going to have to slow down and kind of reapply your coatings as you go. But yeah, you can see here, once they apply it, that plus changes. It goes away and it gets a check mark, meaning, oh, you applied this one. And just like the other range weapon guys, loving the UI, how you can see how many shots of coating you have left under the reticle. Super cool, super seamless. I'm loving it. So yeah, now that they have this power coating, they're doing more damage, and you can see them depleting each shot. And listen, guys, in case you couldn't tell, this is why I made the bow as my main range weapon. You know I'm a great sword main. You know I love the charge attacks. The bow, you can charge up your attacks. It's like range greatsword, guys. That's why I play it. So yeah, you charge up your arrows to do more damage. You can see that charge shot sends him kind of going backwards. And yeah, the bow has some pretty good mobility. In this game, it looks like they buffed it like crazy. Like, dude, did you see that dodge? We're gonna rewind that here. When I first saw this, I was like, whoa, like they're adding like perfect dodge shit from the mobile game. Like, that's literally what it looks like a perfect dodge, where they go like crazy like that. And yeah, so these dodges here, that's similar to what we had in World. You could do these slides after you attack. That jump is new though. You can do a jump out of it. It seems like they're giving Bo a lot of good stuff, guys. Like they're adding so much cool shit. So let's rewind it one more time here. There's been a lot in this little segment. So yeah, let's go back to this crazy like Monster Hunter now perfect dodge. A lot of people have also been saying this looks like Adept Evade from Generations Ultimate, like the styles. The Adept style would let you like do this crazy evade move. It does look similar to that, you know. I'm guessing they're just taking inspiration from that and adding it to the weapon. Who knows how you're gonna be able to trigger it though? Because it looks like here they do a shot and then they just dodge. Maybe it's like a perfect timing. Like if you do your slide after you shoot, right as the monster's about to hit you, then it automatically triggers that. We're just gonna have to test it out and see, guys. And like I said, these other dodges they do here, the slides, are standard stuff. But this jump is new. They slide and then jump and then shoot midair. Really cool. Who knows how you're gonna be able to trigger that? Or like what the button combos are gonna be to do that, but we'll have to see. Now this this is one of the craziest things. Are you reading that, bro? Hit a monster with a tracer shot to cause arrows to home in on it. So he applies this like tracer shot to his arrow. You can see like the sparkles on it. He hits it to the monster's head. And now look, all his arrows are freaking tracking the monster's head like he's got aimbot, dude. What? Are you shitting me? And as it says here, tracers will explode after being dealt enough damage, or if just a certain amount of time passes. So as you're shooting at this tracer, you're going to blow it up. It's going to do extra damage. Here we see a Dragon Piercer shot, uncharged. But this proves, guys, even Dragon Piercers are going to freaking home in. And oh my god. This is making the bow seem like it's going to be OP, dude. Like, obviously we're not getting to see really... well, I mean, like, I don't know. We get to see some damage numbers. They don't show the damage numbers on this, though. We're really going to have to test this out and see if it's OP or not. Because it seems so good. Like, it seems so busted. And then here we have the focus mode. And guys, this is crazy. So, alright, so here we see the upward shot. That was in the games before, where you like fire the volley of arrows. In the previous games, it wasn't a volley of arrows, though. Like, you would attach a net to your arrow that was filled with like these iron like balls with spikes on them. I'm kind of glad they changed it. Like, look, you shoot the arrow up, and it just makes a volley of arrows rain down. I think that looks a lot less goofy than what we had before with like the net of like iron spike balls. Like, this just looks a lot more seamless and a lot more immersive. But yeah, this one doesn't do that much damage, guys. It's just like a few like short attacks. I believe it does stun damage though. Um, so we'll have to see if it still does stun damage because obviously they changed the projectiles from those iron balls to arrows. Maybe they remove the stun capabilities off it too because that's the reason why they were like iron spike balls was because they were like blunt, like they did stun. Who knows? I'm guessing it'll probably still stun, but and then look at this, guys. This is they're giving Bo so much crazy shit, dude. Look at this. Apparently, this is from Dragon's Dogma 2, and then let's just play it. Oh my god, dude. So yeah, apparently this is a mechanic in Dragon's Dogma 2. I haven't played the game, and I don't really know much about it at all. But apparently the magic archer class in that game got this ability where like it's literally the exact same thing. They get like this like circle on their screen and they can like home in on different parts and like shoot a bunch of arrows at once. They just took it straight out of Dragon's Dogma 2, which is really cool. That they're reusing their stuff that they've already done before like that. But look at how many arrows that fired, guys. Obviously they're each doing like a very small amount of damage, but look at all the damage numbers on the screen. That's crazy. And then obviously they follow it up. This is the big damage. After they follow it up, look at that, guys. 100, 150, another 50, and then a bunch of smaller ones. Just adding up the bigger numbers, that's 300 damage plus all the smaller ones. Oh my god, dude. And that's on the starter weapon. Here we get to see this looks like a sneak attack because you hear that like sound effect that like boom when it's doing it here. And also like the little cinematic camera. Looks like they jump up, shoot an arrow into his ass. That looks cool. And then here we just get to see another like perfect evade. And look at that at the end too, guys. They snuck this in here too. You load like freaking 6 or 7 arrows at once. You just shoot them all out. Bo is eating good, guys. Bo is eating very, very good. And I couldn't be happier. It looks amazing. But like I said, it's seeming very, very powerful. And Bo in Monster Hunter World and Rise was already a very powerful weapon. So I'm honestly kind of a little bit afraid that they're overstepping here and they're making it too strong. But obviously, they could roll out balance changes after the game comes out. Plus, the game's not even out yet. Like, maybe after the demo, we'll be able to see like if it's too powerful or not, and then they'll adjust it according to feedback from the demo. But it's too early to tell. Like I said, we're gonna have to look at the demo and like actually feel it for ourselves. But it's looking very strong, guys. I mean, I'll take it though. Anyways, last but not least, we have the lance here. We already saw the gun lance earlier, but this is the normal lance now. And holy moly, guys, this weapon looks awesome. This kind of swirling pattern it's got going on the blade, the shield with like these ridges and like these layers of, and the armor with these scales, dude, holy crap, this looks so good. From the looks of it, I'm guessing this is the Balahara, that Leviathan monster we saw. But it could be a different monster, but that's what my guess is. This is the Balahara armor and weapon from what I'm guessing. And yeah, it looks great. So yeah, Lance has a really good shield. I believe it's the best shield in the game. You can defend against a whole bunch of shit with that. And it's got these quick thrusting attacks. And look at this, guys. These sidesteps like mid combo. I don't know if these were in the game before. You could obviously always do the sidestepping, but like you keep up the combo like with it here. Like you do stab and then sidestep, stab, sidestep, stab. Like you can see him doing it. And then obviously he finishes it off there with like the multi-hit. That's also new by the looks of it. He was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was cool. And then yeah, here we can see a little guarding action. And then a little shield bash. Do you see how cool that looks, dude? And you see the glow on the shield here. I don't know if that indicates like a perfect block or something. But look at that. That was just such a cool animation. Block and then shield bash to the head. And I'm betting that's going to do stun damage, guys. That would be cool if it did. So yeah, here's, you can see, this is, I don't remember what the term for it is. This is kind of like a stance you can enter with the lance called like crouch guard or like deep guard or something like that. I don't know. But he kind of crouches down on one knee and holds the shield out like that. That indicates you're going into that special guard, and it's even stronger, and you can do more a variety of moves out of it. So you see he gets hit there while he's in that guard stance, and he counters with this big uppercut. You can only do that from that guarding stance. And then here we get to see another one, it looks like. Rewind a little more here. Yeah, so he crouches down on the knee there, you can see it. Hits the shield, and here instead, he does a little thrust into the dash of the lance, the multi-hit like dash, which is cool. And then he goes around and follows it up with the sweep. That's all standard stuff we've seen before. You know, we've seen the thrust, we've seen the running attack, we've seen the sweep. That might be a new combo, though. Like, I don't know if you've always been able to do this specific combo out of the deep guard. You know, block, thrust, running attack, into the 180 sweep. That looks like it might be altered from before. Here's a focus mode attack. Shield bash, and then you do a charging attack with the shield. That is cool, guys. That's the first time we've ever seen that for sure. Let's play it one more time. So shield bash to the head, running attack with the shield, and then a huge thrust. And like I said, guys, I would not be surprised if these shield bashes are doing stun damage. That would be very cool if they were. It would kind of make it similar to Sword and Shield in that regard. You know, obviously, hopefully, they keep Sword and Shield as, like, the better shield basher, you know what I mean? I wouldn't want the Lance to, like, steal its thunder, but it would be cool if they gave that option to Lance, you know what I mean? And then here, let's rewind that really quickly, because, like, what even was that? They're kind of standing in this really weird stance, where, like, they're kind of... I don't know what to say about this, really. Because they're, like, it looks like they're in a guard stance, but their shield is not in front of them. It's more to the side. But they still block the attack. You can see also right before the attack hits, they move in. Maybe you have to time that like a guard point. I'm not sure. But they also followed up. I think it might be a guard point, guys, because look at this. They move in. It looks like they start the upwards attack, and they just so happen to guard point it. Look at this. Moves in, guard points, and then goes right into the attack. Because it looks like they started that attack before the block even happened. I don't know, though. We're going to have to see. And here's a little running. This is the running dash attack. Into a jump with the thrust, which is cool. And then there's the power clash. This one, I hate to say it, but this kind of looks like the weakest power clash we've seen so far. The shield's in his mouth, and then you shield bash into the thrust. I mean, it's cool, but I feel like every other clash we've seen so far has been cooler, personally. But I mean, the weapon itself overall looks great. We got these shield bashes going. The focus moves look great. The mobility seems to have increased, and like I said at the beginning of the trailer, it looks like you're able to keep up your like 3-hit thrust combo with sidesteps like at the same time. I'll just replay it here real quickly. Look, he's sidestepping as he's keeping his thrust combo up, which I think is really cool. And yeah, I haven't played Lance personally. I've only played Gun Lance. I've never touched the normal Lance, but it looks great, guys. Like I said, I want to try all the weapons in Wilds. I know I said before, like, you know, I always say it, like, oh, I want to try them on World. I want to try them on Rise. This game, I'm going to actually try to make a point of it and, like, try every weapon legitimately. Because they've all looked so cool so far, guys. Anyways, that's everything. Unfortunately, I feel like the Switch Axe has kind of been done dirty here. It was a very short trailer, and I feel like we barely got to see it. So definitely keep your eyes out if you're a Switch Axe main in the demo. Test out the moveset. Watch people at Gamescom test it out if you're not going to be there yourself, because we're going to have to see. It seems like we really didn't get much of that weapon at all. Lance is looking phenomenal. It looks great. All the moves look awesome, and like the shield bashes look so cool. But obviously the one that I cared about the most was the bow. And guys, it looks like they went ham with the bow. They gave it so much stuff. Homing shots. The like magical circle arrow from Dragon's Dogma. They gave it the what's it called? What am I thinking about? They changed up the coding, which is not directly like a buff. It looks like it's honestly kind of a nerf, where like you have to reapply the codings. But it looks like they're just making a ton of changes to that weapon. And I feel like that might be the weapon they've changed the most so far out of all these trailers. Like seriously, it just feels like such a packed trailer for the bow. And it's one of the longest ones too. Again, it's like a minute and 7 seconds total. So I'm happy about that. Bow's looking great. Like I said, guys, I'm thinking I'm gonna upload a singular video just for the dual blades tomorrow morning, really early. Because I don't know if they're gonna make any trailers after that. So I'm gonna play it safe. I'm just gonna do the dual blades as their own separate video. And after that, guys, there might not be any more analysis videos until Gamescom. So I hope you've enjoyed these. I'll see you tomorrow for the dual blades, and yeah, I'll see you then.